51 Austin restaurants were just recognized by the Michelin Guide, earning stars and bib gourmands galore. But how much does that matter? Today on CityCast Austin, we've got two guests to dish on what these stars actually do for our restaurant community. It's Tuesday, November 4th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I'm here today with Allison Fink, partner of Emmer & Rye Hospitality Group, and Paula Forbes, who is a Texas Monthly's restaurant critic. What is up, Paula and Allison? Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us. Very exciting.
Okay, now we're talking about the Michelin Guides Awards announcement, essentially. And I want to know, just off top for both of you, what is more surprising? The results from an election or the results from the Michelin Awards? Like the Michelin Award announcements or the results from an election? Which is more surprising for y'all?
Election, for sure.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that this apart from one of the picks in Dallas this year was pretty predictable, and I wrote about it on the Texas Monthly website, but I thought the picks were fairly safe, which isn't a terrible thing.
So, okay, now this is Michelin's second year of releasing a Texas guide, right? How do you think the Michelin Awards did this year? Did they hit the mark? Paula, you said, no surprises really. Did they hit the mark though? Did they get it right?
I think so. I think that there were some very well-earned awards. I mean, Allison's restaurant group, maintained their stars and added some in a way that I thought was well-earned. We have Celia Pellegrini of Este and Suerte here in Austin won a special sommelier award for her beverage programs at those restaurants. And a thing that I love about that is that typically wine awards go to restaurants that are European cuisines. And I thought that, she's very creative in how she does her wine pairings. And I thought that that was well earned. I don't see a ton of missed marks. Obviously there are restaurants that are some of my favorites that I would love to see get stars, but it wasn't egregious. Let's say that.
Okay. All right. Well, what about you, Allison?
I agree. Paul and I were able to kind of connect after the award ceremony. I think there was a couple restaurants we discussed where it was just like, man, it would have been nice to see them receive some accolades for how hard they work. And I think everybody's just kind of waiting on, who gets star number 2. There's some really wonderful restaurants in Texas, and we're all hoping for them to get that second star next year.
Okay, really quickly. So for anyone listening that maybe is not up to speed on Michelin stars or just how the Michelin world works. So there are categories. There's Michelin star, there's green star, there's a bib gourmand, and then there's being in the guide, correct?
Yeah, they call that recommended. Yes.
Recommended. Okay. Yeah. And so can you guys give like a quick difference between what all of these are?
I think that's the $1 million question.
Okay.
One of my biggest beefs with the Michelin Guide is that it's not super clear. So Bib Gourmand, which is the quote unquote budget guide, or recommendation, is supposedly given to affordable restaurants. And according to a Michelin representative, that means that you can expect to eat there appetizer, entree, dessert for less than $50.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of mathematical gymnastics that happens to get there with some of these restaurants. And then there are some restaurants that get recommended that could be considered affordable, some of our taquerias, those kinds of places. And I don't know what the difference is between when you decide to recommend someone as a bib gourmand versus a recommended restaurant.
Okay. And the Green Star is...
Green Star is given for sustainability practices. As far as I know, there's not a rubric for it because everyone does it differently. But maybe Allison can speak to it because they have a couple.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Green Star, they require just a lot of surveys, questions. They kind of want to know exactly how you are showing up in sustainability. And I think the thing in restaurants, it can look a lot of different ways. Sustainability is a very big topic when it comes to restaurants, very broad. But when they send the announcement or that you've been considered for a category within Michelin, there's additional information that they require that you fill out.
Wow. Okay.
And an interesting thing about the Green Star that actually I interviewed Tavel from MMRI for a story I wrote about Michelin. And what he said was that what he loves about the Green Star program is that a lot of Michelin recommendations may be considered to go to the restaurateur or the chef, but the thing about a Green Star is that every single person on staff has to opt in. Every single person has to choose to put those apple peels in the compost. Every single person has to remember to do all of these different practices. So I think that's kind of a nice way to look at it too, that it's a
Yeah.
group effort.
Wow.
What's amazing about it is like when Emma and I got it and then Isidore got it this year, Isidore, which is a restaurant in San Antonio, our pig farmer reaches out to us. Like one of our farmers reaches, and it means something to them because they're choosing to run their farms in a
Yeah.
way that might be harder, might be more difficult. They're trying to find somebody that's going to purchase their product in order to be able to make their ends meet. And so by getting those awards, it validates them as well. And that was something that was really powerful for us, is the amount of farmers and ranchers that were
Oh, yeah.
crying alongside us with those.
Oh my God. I love this. So, what was it like to be in the room? Like, what were the highlights for you? I'm curious because I'm a fan of, honestly, if I'm keeping it a buck, award ceremonies of any kind because I like to applause in groups. Like I get very excited even when I don't know why we're clapping. I'm like, oh, we're clapping. Yes, yes. Like I love award ceremonies. So, what was it like to be there? What did it feel like?
I really loved hearing like different parts of the crowd erupt when different people won.
Yes, yes.
Obviously being in Houston, the Houston crowd was a little bit more heavily represented.
Mm.
But like Nixta Taqueria here in Austin won a Green Star, and the chef Edgar Rico wasn't even there. He's in Mexico. And anyway, someone yelled Uno Mexico, and everyone just screamed.
Yes.
So like
Oh,
there was definitely a vibe going on.
we love Nixta. We love Nixta.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's an incredibly emotional experience. Last year also was wild. 2024 was a brutal year for the hospitality industry across the board. And, Michelin deciding to come to Texas, I think was an incredibly hopeful moment for a lot of us.
Mm.
And in that award ceremony, watching your peers get on stage and get honored and recognized for just what was just fighting, right? Like they were just
Yeah.
trying so hard day after day. And so there's a really emotional experience with it. And for this year, sitting in the group, we had a couple of our restaurants within San Antonio, within the Pullman market, that were awarded, and one in particular, Nicosi. So our partner Tavel, and who's the brainchild behind Nicosi, it's been a dream of his since he was 17. When we were opening up Henbit in 2017, we had an opportunity to open up another stall in the Fairground Food Hall. And at that time, he was talking about that he wanted to do this dessert concept, right? This concept that was all about it. And that particular location didn't have the volume that it would have needed. And I
Yeah.
can remember us sitting at my kitchen table in my house and we're like, hey, Tavel, one day we'll get this restaurant. And it just happened that we had the opportunity with Pullman. The space worked. He has put his like blood, sweat, and tears into that space. before the award ceremony, he was like shaking. I mean, he was so nervous. He was so
Oh,
emotional. Watching him cross the stage, watching everybody just, pour love on him, like to the whole crowd, all of us. I mean, it was just, there's nothing like it. There's absolutely nothing like it.
This episode is sponsored by DUER. I'm David Plotz, CEO of CityCast. I'm lounging in my performance denim slim straight jeans from DUER. They're incredibly comfortable. They're 5 times stretchier than traditional denim. But what's even better is that they feel stretchy without looking stretchy, so you can take them anywhere and look good. I've been wearing them to travel, out for dinner, now just hanging around my house since they are so delightful to stretch out in. DUER are pioneers of blending technical innovation with everyday clothing. They invented the original performance denim, so it's not surprising that DUER has made jeans that are the best of both worlds. Classic jeanswear style with the kind of comfort and performance you get from athletic wear. Also, they're the right color. Not too excessively deep blue and also not that middle school jean light blue, but a lovely indigo. My girlfriend, in fact, called them the perfect color. And she's got taste. Simply put, DUER makes the world's most comfortable pants without having to sacrifice style. Get a pair for yourself or as an amazing holiday gift. Go now to shopduer.com/CCAustin. You'll get 15% off your first order. That's shopduer.com/CCAustin for 15% off. shopduer.com/CCAustin.
it's finally getting cooler outside. And if you're anything like me, that means cuddling up on the couch with a blanket. Now, I have a few in rotation, but my current obsession is the Cozy Earth Bubble Cuddle Blanket. Y'all, this thing is so soft. It offers a combination of comfort and style with its distinctively textured bubble design intricately woven from ultra soft fibers. It's faux fur and the perfect centerpiece for your living room or bedroom. I personally keep mine in my living room for movie nights. I know this is the time of year when we're all buying a new blanket for either ourselves or as gifts, so why not try the Bubble Cuddle Blanket? Head on over to CozyEarth.com and use my code, of course, CozyAustin, for up to 20% off. And if you get a post-purchase survey, make sure you let them know you heard about Cozy Earth right here. Because your bed should be more than a place to sleep. It should be your happy place. Cozy Earth makes that possible. So, okay, now I have 2 responses to this. So both of you mentioned businesses that or that, have worked so hard and you're just sitting there, you want to see them succeed. You want to see you want to see them get there, right? Overall, there are 51 Austin restaurants elected to the guide this year. And I know that, both of you said they did miss the mark, but who would you have elected to be on this list that wasn't? Just because you know that they just work so goddamn hard.
I really love Ludi's.
Mm.
I really, that is a restaurant, I think the service they provide, the meal they create, the experience, I'd love to see them get more love.
Nice. What about you, Paula?
Yeah, I agree with Ludi's. I think their food is also beautiful. Unfortunately, it's not about how hard people work, though.
Right.
It's about supposedly just the quality of the food. Supposedly, it's not service, it's not decor. But then tell me why Birdie's doesn't have a star, because the only reason I can think is that it's counter service. But if they're not judging on service, then I don't know why they don't have a star.
Ooh.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So you are not the first person to say that. That's not the first time I've heard that.
Yeah.
Birdie's needs a star. I will agree with you wholeheartedly on that one, because that is some of the best food I've ever had in my life. Just straight up. If they were going by Nikki's palate, that's what would be happening. You mentioned this earlier about Tavel being so nervous and shaking. And I'm so curious about this because I guess I'll say I have not had a chance to chat with people that are so directly correlated with Michelin, right? And as far as getting them, understanding how they work. So what does having a Michelin star or Bib Gourmand do for your business? What does it do for you?
So Isadore, award was probably announced, let's say 8:00. Within 3 hours, we had 200 reservations.
Ooh,
I
damn.
mean, it is substantial.
That's immediate.
It's immediate.
I spoke to June Rodale, who's a restaurateur in Houston, and her restaurant March got a star last year, and they maintained it this year. But she said year over year, revenue was up 30%.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's huge.
That's like, I mean, not to be too dramatic, but it sounds as like that can be the difference of staying open for another year. Like that is a huge difference.
100%. And the Michelin represents, for most chefs, it's an accreditation. It's like James Beard, right? There are these awards that a lot of people know about. And it's some chefs, they search their whole careers to get those awards. For a lot of people, especially in Texas, where we didn't really know that Michelin was an option, they're pursuing this craft because it's their passion. It's where they're dedicated to. So Michelin comes along and then it's an option. And so now everybody, there's an excitement. People want it. They're gunning for it, et cetera. I don't know if a lot of us expected the financial impact to our business through Michelin.
Wow. That is mind blowing. The immediacy is kind of blowing my mind a little bit.
Yeah, us too.
Yeah. So I'm curious because I know that you can get a star, you can maintain your star, and I know that you can get up to 3 stars, right? And also restaurants only got 1 star. You can get up to 3. Why do y'all think that we didn't get more this year? And do those extra stars matter?
So I think there's a lot, and Paula probably has more insight than I do about it. But one, there are consumer bases that are, let's say call them star hunters, right? Where if it's a 1 star, 2 star, 3 star, all around the world, they will travel around the world and they will go to those restaurants. Theoretically, the different levels of stars show a slightly different style of service, a slightly different style of refinement. So there is a hierarchy of kind of even fine dining that is a little bit. Texas, we're more chill. We use things like y'all and we're more approachable. That's not necessarily our style of dining. With that said, we have restaurants, March is one of them, that their technique is next level. So they could get it because of what they're producing. Whether they want it, when you get more stars, there's a little bit more pressure. There's definitely a different expectation from consumers that some people want, some people don't. So there are restaurants that are like, hey, I just want to be at 1 star because this is the style of service. This is the style that, the way we want to show up is more reflective of this star.
I actually fully agree with everything you just said. I mean, the thing you have to understand is that stars typically attract out-of-towners. People who live in the town where the restaurant is already know about the restaurant, right? So you're getting business travelers, people in town for weddings, family events, this kind of thing. And they are comparing you to the restaurants in other cities. Now, in Texas, I agree. I think that our food has a sense of humor. There's a playfulness here. There's a whimsy. There's dishes that are puns. And I personally, internationally prefer 1-star restaurants to 3-star restaurants. I find that to get up there, you have to be so precise, so severe, so locked in that it loses a little bit of the conviviality, I think is the word I would use. And so are there restaurants operating at that level in Texas? I think so. Are we right on schedule as a new guide that we don't have any yet? I also think so. But I think we could get a 2 or 3 star, maybe not a 3 star. I think we could get a 2 star, but I'm not sure we want one.
Yeah, that makes sense. Last year when we were doing this, someone told me a story about a guy that gave one of his stars back or something like that because it was just too much. The stress of it was too much. And that, I mean, to your point, it takes all the joy to me out of it if you have to be so worried about holding on to these extra stars or getting these extra stars. I'm curious about if you guys are seeing, or I guess the better question is, how fun has it been to watch Austin get here? You know what I mean? Because you both said it. We're kind of irreverent and fun, and we kind of sometimes make fun of ourselves, and like the rest of the state makes fun of us sometimes because you never know what's going on in Austin. But like we are become or have become like a heavy hitter in, dining. And so how fun has it been for y'all to watch Austin's kind of like rise from the point of view of essentially service industry people that used to be in these spots or are still in these spots?
So I launched Eater Austin in 2010, and Austin was a very, very different place then. I
Mhm.
think that, a lot of the restaurants were kind of siloed off from each other. You had sort of the Uchi alum group, but that was kind of it.
Mhm.
And it's been such a joy to see a very tightly knit community form around restaurants and service industry. You see, people moving through the different restaurant groups, and I hope it's usually done with joy and, collegiality. But I also think that, like, specifically speaking of service, I think we have a much deeper bench of staff to draw on. And the
Yes.
way that service has changed and improved in this town is insane to me. It's like next level compared to where it was.
Yeah.
It's such a special community. When we moved here, we came and we sat at Barley Swine and we went to Salt and Time. And I can remember
Mm.
talking to them and we were telling them our idea for this restaurant that was Emerald Ryan, blah, blah, blah. And the response from the team was like, great, we need more amazing restaurants here. This is a great community. You're going to love it. If you need us to connect you with any of the farmers, let us know. It was
Wow.
so community driven. It was so
Wow.
supportive. And even though the competition is fierce in Austin, I do still feel that camaraderie. I still feel people cheering each other's on and wanting the whole community to succeed. And that is very rare. That does not happen in a lot of food communities. At the Michelin Awards, there was so much cheering. I can remember one of the writers coming and saying, like, we don't see this. We don't see at Michelin
What?
award ceremonies people cheering on their communities, right? Like it's a little bit more like, no, I got this. It's just more competitive. And don't get me wrong, there's still competition, there's still all of that stuff. But at the same token, the support of one another is spectacular, and it's really special.
That makes me so happy. Austin, just stay out here being amazing. This just, uh, hopefully other people will follow in our footsteps. I mean, honestly, Texas and Austin, I mean, I think that it bears repeating that we have something special in the state, but also just in Austin. It's really wonderful to watch. And I've been here, I've been
Mhm.
here my whole life. And so it's been watching our small town, little big town or whatever you want to call it, just turn into just a straight up big city has been fascinating and wonderful for me too. I love it. So, okay, now I want to ask y'all opinions. Two questions. First, what are your favorite affordable restaurants in Austin?
I love Paprika. They just opened a brick and mortar on North Lamar. Congrats to that
Ooh,
team. Tacos, they're very, very good. Real affordable, quick lunch. Go.
ooh, I haven't heard of them. Hell yeah.
I Veracruz,
Hmm.
those fish tacos
Oh,
are some of my
yeah.
all time, and that team could not be nicer. I mean, they're just awesome
Veracruz, they will get my money all the time. Yeah.
all the time.
Love Veracruz.
Yeah.
What are your favorite splurge worthy restaurants in the city?
I mean, I already mentioned Ludi's, but Ludi's
Yeah.
is a splurge, but it's pretty spectacular. I was going to say another affordable, like I'm a Bufalina girl. Like I've been
Ooh.
at Bufalina a lot of times, and I still love what they do. And um, I think for me, I'm that mid tier person.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
Birdies isn't a splurge. It's just Birdies is just Birdies. Like
It's just
Nixa is
Berkeley.
just Nixa.
Yeah.
Like there's just these restaurants where you're like, they just make you feel good. Like
Yeah.
those Suerte. Like Este's a splurge for me, and I love it. Like
Yeah.
they're just
I kind of feel that
it's
way about
fun.
Kanji. I'm just like, you know what? I'm feeling like I need a little something. I'm gonna treat myself. It's not technically a
Yeah.
splurge, but it's a treat.
Yeah,
For
it's like
me,
those places that just make you feel good, right? We've got a lot of them.
yeah.
In the mid tier, although they have a lot of really good specials on various nights, look it up. I really want to give a shout to Holiday on 7th. They're like
Yes.
like anytime that I'm like, I don't know where I want to go to dinner, the answer is Holiday. I want to sit at the bar. I want to have a big salad and a burger and a martini and like, no, I'm going to leave happy.
And they have frozen Mexican martinis.
Yes.
What? Why are they so good? Why are they so good?
They're great. Pasta's great too.
I'm also a Justine's person.
Oh my God.
Just that makes you feel good too. You just can't not feel good being in Justine's.
Justine's is the only place where I'll be like, fine, I'll wait. Fine. Because I'm not a waiting. I don't like to wait. So that's like, I'm like, I make reservations so I don't have to wait. I'm impatient. Justine's is the only place I'll be like, fine. Okay, fine. I will take this. I'll take this French 75 and wait. I guess.
Justine's is also the only place I like dress for because like I want to feel as cool as the servers.
Oh my God. Okay, Paula, listen.
Sure.
That is so right on the nose. That's so right on the nose. Every time I go to Justine's, I'm like, well, God damn it. I thought I was looking cute today, but look at all these cute, like fashionable, stylish, really freaking nice people. Like, yeah.
My partner and I will be like trying to decide where to go to dinner, and we'll decide on Justine's. I'll be like, hold on, I have to go change.
I gotta go change. Same. We both gotta go change. And then inevitably, two of our friends, it's happened to us like 2 or 3 times now. Our friends, so we'll be at Justine's and then they'll text us like, where y'all at? And we'll be like, Justine's. They're like, okay, we are on our way anyway. We're on our way. And then they always show up all stylish. I'm like, I'm so glad that I changed clothes. Yeah, shout out to Justine's for the ambiance and the just, and now they have a night market there all the time so I can shop while I wait. Yeah. Brilliant strategy. Works for me every time. So, okay, before we go, I'm curious about like if there's anything else either of you would like to add. Is there any restaurant that you want to shout out that you haven't shout out yet? Or is there anything coming up that you want listeners to know or be aware of or anything like that?
I guess I would just encourage people to not put too much weight in Michelin. You like what you like. They're not from here. Their process is very opaque. There's not a lot of transparency. And so trust your judgment, go to the places you like, trust local critics. Just like they're not the end all be all. I recognize that they're very valuable to restaurants, but there are other voices in the crowd.
Yep. What about you, Allison?
I just want to give one more shout out, which is Antonelli's cheese. Talking about gems. I just want to say, like, that is another gem of a place, another gem of humans. They do their cheese classes. They're just a lot of fun. I think that the thing with Michelin that is great is it just opens up your eyes to what's in the community. But, to Paula's point, there's so many amazing restaurants that make Austin what they are. And it's important just to make sure that, just keep sharing with your friends, keep telling people where your favorite restaurant is. If you like something, share it, let people know. Because this community is special because of all of the places that make it special. And then, a personal shout out is we're celebrating our 10-year, which I'm really excited about. And we have a couple events coming up during Austin Food and Wine, which Austin Food and Wine is also a lot of fun, but we're going to be doing a day party on Sunday at Emmer on the 9th. And it's just going to be kind of all of our restaurants just kind of sharing what we do and having fun. And we're going to have some raffle prizes for the food bank. And I mean, it just should be fun. So
nice.
Yeah.
Allison, Paula, thank you for coming on and talking to me about food and Michelin and all of the good stuff. I really appreciate your time. It's been great.
Thank you for having us. This is fun.
Yeah, thank you.
That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. You can find links to Paula and Allison's work in our show notes. And if you enjoyed the show, why not tell a friend, rate the show, leave us a review, subscribe to our Hey Austin newsletter, and don't forget, become our neighbor today at membership.citycast.fm. If you like what we do and you want us to keep doing it, become a neighbor. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.